Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and today we're making delicious apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies. Let's get started. We will start by making our apple cinnamon filling. For the apple cinnamon filling, we will need half a cup of packed brown sugar, a cup of water plus 2 tablespoons to make our cornstarch slurry, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 Granny Smith apples, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. First, wash your apples. Once your apples are washed, peel, slice, and core them. Now that our apples are sliced and cored, we will place them in our pot and transfer to our stove. Before turning on our heat, we will add in our water, brown sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla extract. Now that everything is added, we will stir together and turn our stove on to medium heat. We are looking to bring our ingredients up to a boil. Now that our pot is boiling, we will reduce our heat to a simmer and cover. Be sure to stir occasionally and check on your apples. We're looking for our apples to be soft in texture. Once I see that my apples are soft, I like to mash them a bit with my spoon. We are now ready to puree our apples, but first be sure to turn off your stove. Here I'm using my immersion blender to puree the apple mixture, but any type of blender will work just fine. Once everything is blended together, we're going to return to the heat to about a medium-low temperature and quickly prepare our cornstarch slurry. This cornstarch slurry will help to thicken our apple filling. Simply add 2 tablespoons of cold water to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and stir together. Now that our apple filling has come back up to a boil, we will add in the cornstarch slurry and continuously stir until our mixture has thickened. Now that our apple filling has thickened, we will turn off the heat and set it aside to cool down. It's important to note that our apple filling will continue to thicken as it cools down. While our apple filling is cooling down, let's grab our ingredients for the oatmeal cookies. We will need 1½ cup of flour, 3 cups of oats, a cup of granulated sugar, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 eggs, 2 sticks of butter softened, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. First, we will use our whisk to mix together our flour, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, and baking powder. This really helps to break up any clumps. Once everything is mixed together, we will set our flour mixture aside and move over to our electric mixer. To our mixer, we will cream together our butter and sugar. I like to cut my butter up into cubes before adding to my mixer. Here I'm using my electric stand mixer, but a handheld mixer will work just as great. While our butter and sugar are mixing, let's crack our eggs and get them ready for the next step. Now that our butter and sugar are well combined, we will add our eggs one at a time, making sure that the first egg is well combined before adding the second. Once our eggs have been added, we will stir in our vanilla extract. We are now ready for the flour mixture that we set aside earlier. We will add our flour mixture little by little until all of it has been added. Once all of our flour mixture has been added, we will turn off our mixer, and with the spatula we will scrape the sides and bottom of our bowl, making sure everything is fully incorporated. We are now ready to add in our oats. Pour all 3 cups and fold into your cookie dough. As you fold in your oats, you should notice that your cookie dough is becoming thicker. Now that our oats have been fully mixed in, we're ready to start forming our cookies. I like to place a piece of plastic wrap on top of my baking mat. I find that this helps to keep the plastic wrap in place. We will then place some cookie dough onto our plastic wrap and spread out, forming a rectangular shape that's about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now we will grab our apple cinnamon filling we set aside earlier to cool down. Here you can see that it has thickened up even further. Add some of the apple filling to the middle of the rectangle, and with the help of your plastic wrap, fold in the 2 sides of the rectangle so that the cookie dough is now wrapping all of that apple cinnamon filling. Make sure the seams stick together so that when we cut our cookies, they don't fall apart. Now we will cover our cookie log with plastic wrap and repeat these steps until we don't have any more cookie dough left. Place your cookie logs on a cookie sheet and refrigerate for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Once you're ready to start baking your cookies, be sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's grab our cookie dough from the fridge and start getting them ready to go in the oven. Grab a cookie log, unwrap it, and start slicing. We will slice about 1-inch size pieces. I like to cut from one end and then the other. I find that this helps to prevent the filling from oozing out. If you find the seam of your cookie disconnecting as you're slicing your cookies, simply reconnect the 2 pieces together. Now we will place our cookies on a parchment paper lined cookie sheet, spacing them out about 2 inches apart from each other. I always make sure to flip my cookie over so that the seam of the cookie is on the bottom. This will also help to ensure that the filling stays in the middle of our cookie. Now that our cookies are formed, we're ready to bake them. Place them in your oven and bake for 10 to 14 minutes. Once your cookies are done baking, they should be golden on the edges and bottom. Allow your cookies to cool. I like to transfer mine to a cooling rack. Your apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies are now ready to eat. I hope you enjoyed the video and give this recipe a try. Thank you for watching and be sure to like and subscribe for more.